It was just a great weekend for our team, bouncing back after, not playing real well last week in Baton Rouge. And, I think going into the LSU weekend and the A&M weekend, we were hoping to go 4-2. Obviously, you would like to do better, but at a minimum, go 4-2, and that's what we ended up. Just proud of the team for hanging in there this week, getting through finals, and getting a couple of short practices in, and then coming out and finding a way to win 3 games against a pretty good team. So big weekend for us, and tomorrow we get to get a little work. We're in that stage now where we don't have to really take too much downtime and can work out in the morning in different times. It's a good time of year for the players and coaches. So thought Isaiah Campbell threw the ball real well. He got hit around a little bit in the 5th, getting ready to be the 3rd time through the lineup. He was right at 70 pitches. And going into the game, what we had talked about was we're not going to leave him in too long. We may take him out too early, but we're not going to leave him in too long. And when they lined into the double play in the 5th, we said that's good. And he wanted to stay in, and I don't blame him. Competitors wanted to stay in, but he'd given up no runs. We had a 4-0 lead, and plenty of guys ready to go down there. So that's why we got him out of there. And I thought Scroggins came in and did a good job. He gets a fly ball, but he also got a base hit on a really nice slider, just stuck his bat out. Then he got a strikeout. Strikeout went to the backstop, and that hurt, obviously. And then we had to, start figuring it out from there. Lee actually made a good pitch and jammed the hitter. Guy bloops one in. It's kind of the way the game works. And obviously Reindl hits the first guy and then throws a double play ball. So worked out. Cronin really got to come in a situation where, I guess he got some work on, he didn't come in on a clean inning. He came in with a couple of guys on, and the game was still not in hand, so it was a little bit stressful, and he worked his way out of it, and that was really good to see. And obviously he just ran out of gas and didn't want to throw more than 30 pitches. But I guess he was probably done at 20 from what it looked like after those last 2 hitters. So other than that, got up some timely hits and really played some good defense. Wilson makes a throw on that double play ball that pulls our shortstop. But other than that, it was a lot of good defense. Even the last play in the game, Shaddy used his old catching skills to block that ball and leave it right in front of him like a good catcher does, and threw him out to end the game. So just proud of the guys for bouncing back after last week, like I said earlier, and looking forward to this week and getting down to Georgia.
You have an update on Cope?
Just from walking in there and talking to him, he's just sore, and he'll get it. He's going to get it either looked at later, X-rayed, but it's right now we think it's just a sprained ankle. That would be our guess.
How big do you feel that double play that Kenley turned?
Which one?
Well, I guess the very first one,
the one that he dove on the ball. That was a great play. The ball left the bat. I thought it was going into center field, and he timed his dive perfectly. Obviously, he was fully extended, and then, he did a good job of not trying to flip the ball out of his glove immediately. He kind of got to his knees where he had control of the ball a little bit better. Flipped perfect one to Shaddy, so we were at least going to get one, and then Shaddy really did a nice job of catching that ball and turning it and putting something on it. And got a speedy runner. That's their top base stealer and the leadoff hitter, and it was just a super double play.
What you think of job Kenley did overall filling in for Biggers? He got on base a few times. He obviously played good defense.
Well, he played great defense. He laid down a couple of sac bunts and made contact, hit a couple balls hard. I thought he did an outstanding job. He advanced runners. The hits will start falling for him. He swung the bat good. I think he only struck out maybe one time in all of his bats and hit some balls hard. So I would give him a really high grade if I was grading him.
How good is it to have a guy like that can come in off the bench and do a lot of good things, different things?
Well, at any level, that's big because obviously guys want to be on the field all the time, and to have a guy like Kenley and even I guess you could take it as far as Hunter Wilson. I mean, they're both guys that are good team guys, but they're really good players too, and they're both really good defenders, and they swing the bat left-handed. But Kinley's, he's a guy that on a lot of teams he would have started this year, and probably the same for Wilson, because they bring a lot to the table, and they both can run, they can bunt, they can handle the bat a little bit, and obviously they hit from the left side. So it's real valuable to have that, especially at this level.
About Bonfield today in the final series.
Really good at bat. The home run, he worked the count, laid off some borderline pitches, and then got the 3-1 fastball, and just did what we'd hope he'd do with it. It went from a 1-run lead to 3 or 4-run lead real quick, and the way things were going, we felt like we had it in hand if we could just keep throwing strikes and make plays and maybe score another run or two. And but that was a big swing. I think he might have drawn a walk, and he also hit that ball in the hole that was scored in there. It was a tough hop because it was hit hard, had overspin on it, hit that dirt and jumped over that kid's glove, and started that inning there in the 8th.
Opitz hadn't batted in since the Mississippi State series. He has a big sac fly as it turned out.
He's a good player. I mean, he's a really good catcher. Really throws well, blocks well. Works hard every day. He knows that next year is his year to be our catcher, and he's been waiting his time. And we have another catcher, Zach Plunkett, that's awfully good as well. That if Grant has to be out for a little bit of time, those two guys can handle it.
You set a record for regular season home wins, at least here at Baum.
Yeah.
Big for George Cole, I guess, but 29-3 here at Baum.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. I mean, I don't care how good you are. Just winning 29 out of 32 games at home is amazing. And it set us up, in conference play. I mean, 14-1 at home in conference play. That's something else, and gives us a chance to go to Georgia, with some work to do. So we're looking forward to it.
Sacrificing with Shaddy, was that one time you thought maybe Rob would not be expecting that, or it worked out?
Yeah, I didn't figure that they would think that he was sack bunting, but the way the game was going and the end of the week, as far as the series and guys, as far as our experienced pitchers, they'd been used a little bit. Every run was going to be crucial, and obviously you see where we scored 2 and then they scored 2. So really nice bunt, and I almost thought the third baseman was just going to let it go, and I'm pretty sure it was going to stay fair. About as good a bunt as you can bunt.
Yeah, with Kenley, what's the key to a guy staying ready, staying engaged when he isn't playing on a regular basis?
Well, first, number one, he has to be very unselfish. Really all about the team, and that's what Kenley is. So just he works every day. Like I said, technique-wise, he's our best defender. I mean, he does everything the way that you would want it and coach it. And as far as fielding, the way his feet are, the way his hands are, the way he keeps his head down, and he just works every day. And we tried to get him a few games at short. I think I played him there against Charlotte. Just a couple here and there, because just in case Jax needed a day off or went down, and he's played some games at third. He's just a good utility man, but he's a very smart kid, a very good student, and he knows his role with this team, and that role can change. You can go from a backup to a starter real quick, and that's what he had to do for us this weekend.
With Jax, do you anticipate him being back for Georgia, or just too early? Or?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. He'll be able to play. He should be cleared to play, and then it's a matter of can he swing the bat and can he field okay? If we don't feel like he's quite ready, then we'll use him maybe in a pinch, or bring him in for an inning or two, or whatever we need to do. But we'll just kind of wait and see how that goes the next few days. We got 3 days to figure that out.
About 5 weeks ago, Bonfield was really struggling for you guys, and he's up his average to 313. What have you thought about what he's?
Well, he's kind of a feared guy, an anchor in our lineup. The league knows about him. He's an older guy, big guy. And he takes pitches, and he doesn't go out of the zone too much. And if you make a mistake, he hurts you. And when he's hot, and it's the end of his college career, and I think he's really focused in. It means a lot to him, and we need him right there in that 4-hole, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there all the time, being that guy that they don't want coming up with runners on base. And You know, he seems like the last couple of weekends, or this weekend for sure, really did a good job of, you know, making him pitch around him, and when they had to pitch to him, he got him.